Peace and love. Peace and love, everyone. Hi, peace and love, everyone. I get the red squirrel out there today. It's a little noisy. Goodbye, red squirrel. And the frogs are talking to me too. Peace and love, everyone. Thank you for being here. Hey, Jen. Today's title is The Child of Humanity, Mary Magdalene, Global Mysticism, and the Light of Grace. Today we're going to read and look at the Gospel of Mary 5, chapter 5, verses 1 to 10. Welcome, beloved souls. Wherever you are, all over the world, however you are, you're all welcome here. This is not church in the usual sense. We gather across time and space, not around dogma or doctrine, but around the sacred flame of experience, mystical, embodied, in you, eternal. Whether you come with joy or with doubt, with longing or with grief, you're not alone. Here we listen for the wisdom behind the words, the silence between the lines, the presence that speaks through scripture, breath, and being. This is a space for seekers, mystics, near-death experiencers, contemplatives, and all who have heard, even faintly, the divine call within. So let's turn our hearts toward the good with a capital G together. Welcome home. Let's take a moment here and take a breath together. Say hi to Janet and Peggy and Tom. Good morning, all. Just take a few breaths together, kind of settle in, center in. I always try to meditate before I meet with you guys. So here's a reading from the Gospel of Mary. This sounds so much like church. A reading from the Gospel of Mary, which you would never hear in a congregation. Chapter 5, verses 1 to 10. Hey, Leah Beachy, 5, 1 to 10. The disciples were distressed and wept greatly. They said, "How can we go out to the rest of the world to announce the good news about the realm of the child of humanity? If they didn't spare him, how will they spare us?" Then Mary stood up. She greeted them all and tenderly kissed them. She said to her brothers and sisters, "Don't weep. Do not grieve, nor let your hearts be irresolute. For his grace will be with you and will shelter you. Instead, let us praise his greatness, for he has prepared us and made us true human beings." When Mary had said these things, she turned their hearts toward the good, and they began to debate the words of the Savior. So let's go through these. They wept. Grief, fear, confusion overtook the disciples after the beloved's departure. Their tears weren't solely for Jesus, but they were for him, but for the fragile future they now faced without him, and the possibility that they might too be captured, tortured, and killed. In that trembling space of loss and uncertainty, Mary Magdalene rose, not in defiance, not in command, but in presence with a capital P. She greeted them gently. As one translation offers, tenderly, she kissed them, heart to heart, soul to soul, like a balm of light upon their sorrow. We've all experienced a moment like this, perhaps not in a literal sense, but in its essence. When the light we once touched, the clarity we once knew slips behind the veil, and we're suddenly blind, darkened, when the whole world around us darkens, and we fear the cost of continuing in love. The mystic's path, like Mary's, is not one of escape, but of profound return. It calls us to rise from the ashes and to speak, not merely from knowledge, but from transformed beings, from the energy of your heart. Do not weep, she says, do not grieve, nor let your hearts be irresolute. Mary doesn't dismiss the sorrow, she redirects it. She names the trembling heart and lovingly turns it towards something greater, toward grace, with a capital G. Here, grace isn't an abstraction. It's the presence. It's spirit, chi, energy, prana, holy energy of the living one. And it can descend on us like Shakti. It is the breath of the infinite beloved that surrounds, shelters, and dwells within us. I've experienced this grace firsthand. Many of you have. In death, when the body falls away and the veil dissolved, I entered the realm of the good with a capital G, the radiant consciousness, love that is beyond this world, yet in it, but which births, sustains, and indwells in us. Grace wasn't something I believed in, nor do I believe in it now. It was something that held me, bathed me, and loved me without condition or end. Upon returning, I carried that presence with me, not as a memory, but as a living current. And at times, perhaps, in you too, grace descends or rises, overwhelming us. This is the same current that Mary speaks of here. This blessing, this ripening, is reflected in John 14:27, rendered in the Aramaic. Shlama, peace. Peace I lay down in you. My peace, my healing unity, my sheltering wholeness. This isn't peace of the outer world, not the illusion of control or the calm of avoidance, but the deep harmony of our being, given freely from the breath of life. Do not let your hearts be scattered or cut off. Do not be ruled by fear. Mary continues, His grace will be with you all, and will shelter you. Now, how often do we forget that this shelter is not always safe from pain? It doesn't provide immunity from death, betrayal, illness, or loss. In a mystical sense, the shelter offers us an assurance of presence that never leaves us. Never leaves us. It's never shut off. Not since the day I came back. Not once, not for a moment. I've stood in that presence beyond this world, and I stand in it now. Well, I sit. I've been touched by the grace that's not merely theological, belief-based, but existential, light-filled, real, overwhelmingly alive, and electric. Many of us have. Many of us will. And we all will the moment that we pass over. And I know, as Mary knew, that this grace with a capital G, this grace is with us even when we forget it. And we find a reflection of this in Luke 17. The reign of the one is not something you can watch for. You won't be able to say, it's over here, it's over there. The reign of the all is unfolding within you and among you, within you and among us. Mary continues, rather let us praise his greatness, for he has prepared us and made us true human beings. Mary doesn't turn the disciples' gaze away from their suffering. She lifts their vision into praise. Not praise as flattery or performance, but as surrender to the vast mystery of love. We're not just fragile flesh. We are vessels of the eternal and the ground of our being. In the Christian case, the Christ light. And combined, we are the holy child of humanity, divine and human in one, within us and among us. Jesus has prepared us, she says. Through his presence, his teachings, and his radiant energy that surrounded him like an atmosphere, Yeshua transformed their being. Jesus revealed to them their own hidden divinity. This is the journey of the mystic, to become fully human by realizing the divine within. It's simple, and it's echoed in many traditions. In Genesis, we're told that we are made in the image of God, the Elohim, the plural form, the majestic fullness, the greatness, and the creative transcendence. In the Gospel of Thomas, Logion 70, Yeshua says, if you bring forth with that which is within you, what you have will save you. In the Bhagavad Gita 10:20, Krishna proclaims, I am the self, capital S. I am the self, O Guda Kisha, seated in the hearts of all beings. Right here. The Tao Te Ching tells us in chapter 16, returning is the motion of the Tao. Yielding is the way of the Tao. Always here, yielding, we yield to it. The Gospel of Philip offers a tender parallel. The Lord loved Mary more than all the disciples and often used to kiss her on the mouth. Not as a romantic indulgence, although it may have been that, but as a sacred transmission of presence, of light, of knowing. And in the thunder perfect mind, the divine feminine voice declares, I am the one who is honored and praised, and who is despised scornfully. Affirming her paradoxical wholeness, just as Mary, silenced and scorned by the church and by Pope Gregory the Great, yet chosen, rises here in the Gospel of Mary in luminous clarity. In Sufism, Rumi reminds us, the wound is the place where the light enters you. And in the Buddhist Dhammapada, it echoes this, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. It is founded on our thoughts and is made up of our thoughts. If our mind is in our heart, if our thoughts is in our hearts, that's what we become. We are what we think. If we think of the light, we become that which is transcendent. Mary revealed what was within her, and in doing so, she opened the hearts of others, not through argument or reasoning or citing biblical texts, but by creating a caring, loving atmosphere in her heart that radiated to those people she loved. There are people in this world who carry the resonance of heaven in their presence. Maybe you've met them. Perhaps you are one. Maybe you've encountered this presence in a forest, in birdsong, in music, or in the moment of silent prayer. This is what it means to turn hearts toward the good, not through coercion or convincing, but through the invisible radiance of love. She turned their hearts toward the good. And this is what the world needs now. Not more arguments, doctrines, dogmas, or lies, and laws, but more heart turned toward the good. You know, Mary doesn't call God God. She calls God the good. Goodness is one of the names my heart calls God. From the moment, in the moment of my death, the goodness was overwhelming. Now let's turn our hearts not through fear-driven action or ideas, but through mental clarity toward grace, and allow this grace to enter into us. Not more despair, but remembrance. The kind of remembrance that Mary offered to her friends, to the broken disciples who feared their own capture. The remembrance of that child of humanity is still with us, within us, and among us, as an actuality, an experience in the now. And when I returned from death, I remembered not in theory, not in words, but with a bone-deep certainty that this world is entwined within the next, and that within every heart lies a doorway. Heaven exists here and now, just beneath the noise. And if we calm ourselves long enough, we can sense it. Mary understood this. She embodied this. She guided their hearts toward it. So, beloved soul, when your heart is heavy, when the light feels distant, may Mary's voice rise within you. Don't grieve. Let your heart be still. Grace shelters you. You've been prepared. You are a true human being. Praise the greatness of the one who made you so. And then rise gently, firmly, and with courage, through word and deed, kriya, action. Turn the hearts of others toward the good, through word and deed. But as St. Francis said, preach the gospel at all times, preach the good news at all times, sometimes use words. Action. That's your calling. That's our calling. Now more than ever. Now more than ever. We have a chance. We have a chance to change the direction of the world. We should seize this opportunity. And Mary, though she was repressed for centuries, she's rising back up again here to tell the truth that was hidden. That the kingdom, the realm, heaven, nirvana, satori is within you. It is you. It's accessible and experiential. Thanks for being here this morning. I'll let everybody know that in the description, sometimes it's hard to come down from where I was. In the description, there's a link to our Zoom meeting, Mystic Tea Salon. It's a community. We are a community. Mystics of all types, from shamans, psychedelics, near-death experiencers, after-death visitation, all sorts of types of mystical experiences. And you're welcome to come and talk about yours, have a discussion with us, talk about what we talked about today. Oh, your popcorn's getting stale there, Candyman. I'll talk about that at Mystic Tea Salon a little. Hi, Janet. Brother Ed Peters' voice is quite powerful, peaceful. Well, just trying to be in the presence. That's all I'm trying to do is I've got to pay attention to all these different things when I'm on camera, but I'm also trying to just be in the place with the divine presence And there's, being human and being divine. And where's that meet? That's that's what I'm always after whenever I'm here with you guys. I'm like most of the day anyway, but this is a little more complicated too. Lots of moving parts. All while I'm trying to pay attention to the presence inside of me. Not forgotten, of course, just when I'm paying attention on the outside, it recedes a little bit, never goes away. Let's see. Hey, Mia, pure intentions. Good morning. I've experienced this current you speak of, but it comes and goes. Losing the gift of knowing, feeling its presence is hard to compute unless you're wired to understanding. That's right. The wiring matters. That's why practice matters more than study. Study matters, but practice matters most because that's where the cable is. That's where the connection comes from. That's where it's cultured and created, cultured and grown and replugging it back in when the plug falls out. The plug doesn't fit well, it just falls out. You got to plug it back in again. But it does come and go. For me, in intensity, my circumstance is a little different, but I remember before my NDE, that my first one, that as I was on the journey then, the more I meditated, and this is true today still, the more I meditate, the more I center in, the more I practice the presence of the divine, the more the channel remains open. And it doesn't get, it might feel like it shuts off, right? It can feel that way. But with practice, it opens up and then it just stays open. I hope that can happen for you too, Mia. I know that you're connected already. Hey, Pure Intentions, good morning. Leah Beachy from Australia. Wow, Leah Beachy. Boy, it must be middle of the night down there and winter. No doubt. Although I hear you guys, your winter isn't like ours. Hi, what our message? I'm struggling with feeling any divine presence. Thank you, Peter. How do you do Zoom? So in the description, just copy and paste the link, drop it into your browser and click on it. You might have to download a Zoom. You might have to go to Zoom, whatever it is, .com, and download the app into your computer first. And then it should automatically open once you copy and paste the link that's in the description. It should automatically open up for you. Charlie Bannon. Well, how do you do, sir? Good to see you here. Thank you, Charlie. It's always good to see you around. All right. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks for being here live today. Sorry about the 8:30, 8 o'clock, 10:30 mess up. On Thursday, I gave a presentation for this group in South Africa, and on book publishing. And because I spent the morning preparing that and then giving my little talk and answering questions, by the time I did all of my work for Thursday, toward the end of the day, I guess I was tired, and when I get tired, I miss little details like that. But thanks for being here at 10:30. I appreciate it very much. I hope to see you at Mystic Tea, Charlie. That'd be great to have you back again. Peace and love to everybody. Thanks for liking and subscribing. It does make a huge difference. Let's spend a moment here. Peace and love to you all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support too. Makes a huge difference. Hey, Wes. Thanks, Martha. Oh, I'm wicked human, Martha. I'm wicked human. That's a Bostonian thingy, Maine too. But yeah, totally human. All right. See y'all later.